In the Monument of Triumph update in Destiny 2, we finally have Warmind cells back. Sort of. The armor set that drops from the Cosmodrome, the 7th Seraph, on the 2-piece set bonus. Getting final blows with area of effect damage, solar abilities, 7th Seraph weapons or Iklos weapons grant Warmind charges. But that doesn't lead to Warmind cell explosions on its own. Now, Warmind cells haven't come back into the game as a unique destructible object like they used to be, but with the 4-piece set bonus from the same armor set, while you have Warmind charges, defeating powerful combatants, destroying a construct, or destroying a tangle releases a solar detonation that damages combatants and heals allies. So essentially, powerful combatants, constructs, which include stasis crystals or some types of enemies, or tangles, have become Warmind cells once we have Warmind charges and the 4-piece set bonus on. And I've also found a hidden exotic interaction that synergizes with this nicely too. So I'm in the shooting range, I've got the 4-piece Seraph armor on, and the weapons you can use are, for example, 7th Seraph Officer Revolver, Iklos Shotgun, 7th Seraph Saw. There's not that many options for weapons that can build the Warmind charges. For example, 7th Seraph Officer Revolver, get a kill, there's a Warmind charge, keep getting kills, Warmind charges go up, and each stack is just more of a stat bonus to grenade and weapon. But the Warmind charge stat bonuses on their own are not that much to write home about. It's really all about the 4-piece where you can get those Warmind explosions. And there's 3 ways you can do that. Powerful combatants, obviously you're at the mercy of whenever they happen to spawn. Tangles, pretty easy to make, but there is a cooldown before you can make another one. However, constructs, stasis crystals count as a construct. There's various builds we can use to spam stasis crystals as much as possible and chain all those explosions. But first I want to show you that hidden exotic interaction I found, because it turns out it's not just Seraph or Iklos weapons that can give you Warmind charges from weapon final blows. Outbreak also counts as a Warmind weapon. So get a kill, there's a Warmind charge, build them up. Now obviously as an exotic primary, and with all the Siva nanites, this is very good for ad clear to build up the charges really quickly. And it's also pretty good at single target damage when powerful combatants get on the field, which we can then generate that Warmind explosion with. So to make the most of those Warmind explosions, I'm running a Stasis Crystal spam build on my Hunter with Withering Blade and Mask of Fealty, where when you melee, it leaves a Stasis Crystal behind that you can then shoot and it will create a Warmind explosion. I'll go through the full build in detail at the end of the video, but for now I'm just going to show you a basic interaction in the shooting range and then show how it works out in the field. So build up a couple of charges, make one of those. And you see that was a much larger explosion than just the shatter. So obviously this is shooting range at normal power, so all those red bars would have died anyway just to the shatter, and the Warmind cell wasn't doing that much on top. But let's see what happens if we go underleveled. So I'm just in a -30 loss sector just to show how this build works when underleveled. And it's not just Warmind weapons that can generate Warmind charges, remember, it's also solar abilities or area of effect weapons, or damage in general. And I've got the Rocket Pulse on here, and that's given me 1 Warmind charge. Now that I've got a charge, I can make that Warmind explosion from the crystal, Gambler's Dodge to get another crystal back. You can just keep chaining everything like this. So now I have Warmind charges, so when this barrier champ dies, it'll make another Warmind explosion. And a tangle because I have Facet of Solitude on for severing on precision damage. Tangles are less spammable because of the cooldown, which is why I've built into the Stasis Crystals from Mask of Fealty. Another Gambler's Dodge, get more Shurikens back. I'm also running Facet of Blessing, so that melee kills start healing straight away, which does count from the shatter explosions. Because the crystal was made from a melee ability, because of Mask of Fealty, it actually counts as melee. And I'm also running heavy-handed, so I'm making orbs from all those as well. Then we get Transcendence. so we can just spam even more shurikens on top. So obviously it's a mix of shatter damage, Warmind damage, occasionally tangle damage, plus the weapons. It's just a really fun loop. You just keep running, keep exploding everything. Warmind cells as well give a little bit of healing when they go off. It's not a lot, and my health stat is really low, and I'm assuming it scales with that. See what? Got my super now. Even more Transcendence. Oh, I'm out of ammo for my rocket pulse. Then also Outbreak does fairly okay single target damage as well, obviously. The Warmind cells are really good for stunning as well, making enemies flinch. Now, that's not the fastest Lost Sector run in the world, but I just wanted to show off all the abilities and the way it synergizes and the way all of the weapons kind of work into it as well. And yeah, I think it's just a really fun build. Definitely worth considering for just day-to-day gameplay. So for the exact build I was running, and most of this can be changed obviously, but the most important bit is Withering Blade with the Mask of Fealty, Gambler's Dodge so I could get more shurikens, Grapples so that I could apply Unravel occasionally, maybe spawn some tangles, Ascension, also Area of Effect, so that'll be helping building up Warmind charges, Dreaded Spectre, Classic of Dawn for Radiant, Protection for damage resistance, Blessing for health regen, which procs off all melee kills, including the shatter damage that's generated by Mask of Fealty off the shurikens, Purpose, so I get a bit of overshield for survivability from orbs, and Solitude, so I'm severing enemies that I'm hitting with the Outbreak, because then when they die, they'll also turn into a tangle. And my stats for this weren't very high either. I'm just using the first 4 pieces of Seraph gear that I got really just to sort of test out this build. Possibly above 100. The shatters might be doing more damage because the crystals were created by a melee attack. I don't know whether that also scales up for the Warmind explosion too. It's pretty hard to test whether the Warmind explosion scales with anything, but I'm sure people smarter than me will figure that out before too long. These are the mods I'm running and the weapons. The artifact for this one was interesting as well. I went with Queen's Foil Sensor. I think the most effective mods on this artifact for this build, definitely Hail the Storm, so Stasis Shatters would deal increased damage, and Pillar of Ice, so I'd get even more Stasis Crystals from defeating frozen targets. And that's about it. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. Leave any questions in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.